In rainy weather like today, during the winter, one of the best ways to stay dry while outdoors was the traditional stockman jacket or oilskin jacket, which is a classic in our Australian history and heritage. You may have seen movies like The Man from Snowy River, where the old stockmen are wearing this classic jacket. Even illustrations of our famous bushranger Ned Kelly show him in a oilskin long coat. So I want to look at the history of this traditional stockman jacket in Australia. I want to look at where it originated from and how it was used. I also want to show you a traditional method of waterproofing a stockman jacket, just how they could have done in the 1800s. And I have an exciting collaboration to share with you with a great new product that's on the market. So stay tuned for that. The oilskin jacket dates back to sailors in the 18th century who would make waterproof cloth garments for out at sea. Sailcloth was often waterproofed in things like tar, linseed oil, even animal fats. In the 1800s, a New Zealand man named Edward Lee Roy created the modern day oilskin jacket as we know it today. The stockmen of Australia's high country, drovers and bushworkers, saw the benefit of these waterproof clothing made for sailors and adopted it into their own line of work. Perfect for up in the high country, where the weather could turn foul at any given moment. The long coat was perfectly suited for those spending long hours in the saddle. In 1932, the Queensland Agricultural Journal stated, "A farmer's greatest personal comfort was to be found in an oilskin coat. Few farmers make their own oilskin coats, yet they need them so constantly in wet weather and give them such rough usage." And so the oilskin jacket became a symbol of rural Australia, often worn by those close to the land or sea. G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. Now I love my stockman jacket, even though originally, it was a horse riding jacket. I do find it's great out in the bush, and I do find it's great working on the farm, especially in more rainy weather like this, like it is today. And it is a fantastic natural way to waterproof yourself in rainy weather, cold weather, things like that. Now, if you watch my videos, you will see me wearing this wet weather protection in almost all winter adventures I go on because, they're thick and warm and they also keep you very dry. I've worn them in rain and snow, especially wet Australian snow. Personally, I love this stuff way better than any kind of modern synthetic waterproofing clothing out there, outdoor clothing. It is a little bit heavy, but you do get used to it. And, it's very versatile. You can use it as a ground mat. You can use it as a tarp. I've done that all before, and it's just a versatile bit of equipment. And now I want to show you a really exciting collaboration that I'm going to be doing. And this here is the long coat oilskin jacket from the Black Spur Co. Now I'm teaming up with the Black Spur Co, and they've come up with this stockman jacket. This is called the Ranger, and basically I have an affiliate link with them. I also have a 10% discount code called the Bearded Bushranger that you can use to get this jacket yourself if you want to get a stockman jacket. And it either comes with a little patch on it with the Bearded Bushranger if you're interested in that, which is really cool. And yeah, he's got a range of options on the website. So, there's the long coat, there's also the short coat, there's also a poncho as well. But yeah, look, if you're interested in getting a stockman jacket, these are kind of a lifetime purchase. You buy this once, you maintain it, it lasts for life. So it's a bit pricey, but it's a long-term lifetime investment, the stockman jackets. So if you are interested in getting one and you want to support a smaller company, I'd recommend going over to the Black Spur Co.'s website and supporting Lee out and using my 10% discount code. Now, as I said, he's got a range of different long coats and short coats. But what's really cool is there are different options in regards to waterproofing these coats. Now you can get a more of a commercial kind of coating, which is similar to what the big companies doing stockman jackets do. Straight off the bat, straight out the gate, it's ready to go as a jacket for you. This is probably good for someone who doesn't want to think too hard about maintaining their stockman jacket and just want to use it straight away without too much thought. I'd recommend this option. The one I have here is more of a traditional style, heritage style waxing done by hand. It does mean that it is quite waxy when you get it, and it is quite stiff. It takes a while to wear in. It's kind of like a good leather boot. You got to wear it in and you got to maintain it, with a leather boot. You put dubbing on it and things like that. Well, even with this one, you can kind of You can kind of maintain it yourself with some linseed oil, and if you want it to not be as stiff, take some time, but I went with this option because it's more of a heritage style feel to it. I really like that. The last option, which I think is a really great option, is you can get the coat plain without any kind of waterproofing done on it, and you can get ingredients yourself to do it all yourself. Now on the Black Spur Co.'s website, he's got a range of information of different kind of materials you can use, because you can mix it up if you want. You can, use just linseed oil and terps if you want, or you can add waxes like paraffin wax or beeswax, or newer things like microcrystalline wax. And so there's a range of different options, and there's a range of information on the website on the different ways you can do this yourself. So for those people who are really interested in waterproofing your own jacket, I'd recommend this option. It's great. Now, as I said, this one came with more of a heritage style wax to it, but I also got a short coat, which I really like, and that has not been waterproofed yet. I'm going to do that all myself, and that's what I want to show you next. I want to show you how to waterproof your jacket with an 1800 style method that you can use using materials that were available in the 1800s, and that's what I'm going to go show you right now. All right, everyone, so here is the short coat Stockman jacket, oilskin jacket from the Black Spur Co, and it's got the bit of Bushranger patch on there. Now this one has not been waterproofed yet with an oilskin, which is what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to use more of a traditional method for this one. Now when you get these jackets, you can get them pre-done if you want to have all the work done for you, or if you want to experiment and do it yourself, you can also do that, and the materials can be sent out to you. Now there's a range of materials that you can opt for that can be sent for you, and there's a range of different waxes you can use. There's more modern stuff like the microcrystalline wax, or you have traditional stuff like raw beeswax and the paraffin wax. Now originally, traditionally, oilskins, were pretty much gum turpentine and linseed oil. But as waxes came available, beeswax, but then especially paraffin wax in the late 1800s for candles and things like that, and it was cheaper and easier to get access to. That was also popular. So I'm going to make a mix of paraffin wax with the linseed oil and the gum turpentine for this video, which is a very heritage kind of traditional way to do it. All right, let's get onto this. I'm a bit hot, so I'm going to take this off. Another thing, it's better to do this on a hot day, because obviously it's like 30 degrees today, so it is really going to soak in well into the jacket. So first things first is to get a fire going. The idea for heating the wax up is to not put it on direct flame, but you boil this water and this will sit there, and that boiled water will warm this up without the direct flame on here. So it's just a steady heat that'll be on here, and that's the aim. Okay, so while that's slowly boiling, basically the idea is I'm going to use, it's 3 parts linseed oil, 2 parts paraffin wax, and 1 part gum turpentine. You can measure it out, so you could do 1 part is 10 mil. I'm going to kind of just estimate it by eye, and hopefully that'll work out. But you got to melt the wax first, then you add the linseed oil, then you take it away from the flame and you add the terps last, and then we're going to paint it onto the jacket. So water's heating up now, so I'll chuck that in there. And that wax is fully melted into that linseed oil. I'm ready to take this away and add the gum terps. And this is the gum terps. Alright, let's get that on. So I've done one coat on this, as you can see. Some parts are very waxy. Now, the sun was out quite strong before, but it took a long time to do this, so the sun's kind of gone down a little bit under the horizon, but I was hoping the sun would able to really shine on that and melt that wax in, but you know, as I said before, the old fellas would have done this on a hot day where, you know, that it's really going to melt into the material. I might have to get a hairdryer and just really like melt that wax in. Not a traditional method, obviously. And plenty of airflow, plenty of warm sun. Yeah. And that's how you do a traditional waterproofing of your oilskin jacket. I will clean this up though, I think, some of the more waxy parts. And as you can see, all that wax has absorbed into the coat to make a beautiful waterproof oilskin jacket. I'm just going to hang this here for maybe 2 weeks or so. It's hot now, so it should cure quite fast, but yeah, the idea is just in shade, plenty of breeze, and then that should cure, and then I've got a great waterproofed oilskin jacket, a short one, which is, yeah, I'm really looking forward to using that one. Using oilskins is a great traditional way to waterproof your clothing and gear. It connects you to our heritage and history, and I believe is one of the best waterproof options for the outdoors. Fantastic at shedding rain and snow, as well as keeping you warm in winter. The old timers really knew the best methods, and this is something that has been tried and tested for many, many years. I'd encourage people to experiment with waxed cloth and oilskin cloth as an alternative to the synthetic plastics out there, to gain a deeper connection with our clothing, our history and the outdoors. This coat didn't take long to cure, and now I have a great lighter short coat that I can also use on my adventures. After a year or so, when the waterproofing fades a little, all you need to do is add another layer on top and it's good to go again. Truthfully, these coats can last a lifetime when taken care of. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you can see that, you know, a Stockman jacket is a worthwhile investment. These are great. As I've said before, I've used them as tarps, as ground sheets, waterproofing, out in the rain, working on the farm, out in the bush. They're fantastic. So if you are interested in getting one yourself and supporting a smaller company, yeah, you can go to the Black Spur Co. I put all the details in the description or in a comment, and use a 10% code Bearded Bushranger as well. Guys, thanks for watching. Plenty more educational videos coming up this year on traditional Australian bushcraft history and heritage. Thank you so much for watching everyone. Have a good one.